No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This is 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Jacobs going to try the middle. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This from 44 yards away. The kick by McManus is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground, because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense, because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. 2nd and 9. Here's Williams. Caught right side. It's Lewis. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing is Williams. That is caught. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 49 yards. And the Bears have taken the lead. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he is out of bounds here on the return. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
That's going to be caught downfield by Reed. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jaden Reed, 52 yards. And the Packers have retaken the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back, and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And their last time out, looking to repeat that, Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Williams. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A handoff, Swift running to the left. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Following the interception, Love. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Here we go.
Play fake. Here's Love. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw, Williams. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he goes out right around the 39. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Looking to throw is Williams. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football,
They got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield. I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen, but this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Blue striker. Here we go, set.
Love, they go play action now. Buying time to his left. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. Here's Williams. A final shot before break. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Now McManus for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 to score as we get back to it on EA Sports. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. To the air, Williams. And that one complete downfield to Allen. Touchdown, Chicago! Keenan Allen, 36 yards. And the Bears are back within a score.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 55 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last two snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
Hey, we could easily read his mind there. There was just no place to go. Tried to bounce it and get outside on the draw.
Yeah, but the defense wasn't thinking pass. They knew that they were running it.
And I love the way that they covered all the gaps. You know, we can do all the lettering and the numbering and all of those things, but those run fits that we talk about all the time, each person fitting in the proper spot on defense, you see the end result when they do that.
He's able to find Melton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's got some space here. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Ready.
On play action. Love to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. back. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
They'll fake the jet sweep there. Instead, hand to Jacobs up the middle. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold them to 3 to keep this a one-score game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Now Love. And his throw here's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This will get the lead up to 7. The kick by McManus is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position. But it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This is 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Open man down the field. That's Odunze. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Yes, down by a touchdown. They needed a big play here quickly, and they got one. And now, plenty of time. No need to panic, but you do need to move quickly.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
See what I did there?
He needs better protection, that's for sure. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers are going to win this football game.
Ready.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Here's Love. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So it's all. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. On the return, it's Simba Webster. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Caleb going to throw right away. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Dante Jackson picks it. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing is Wilson. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Calvin Austin, 37 yards. And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return comes Webster. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Swift going to try up the middle. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Once again, it's Swift. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. They will run straight ahead with Swift, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Play action. Now Williams. Oh, Adunze wide open. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Rome Adunze, 27 yards. And the Bears are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Here's Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it facing a second and long situation. Now it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Eluding the pressure right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 46 yards.
Running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them and maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there. Turned it into a really nice game. Here's Fields. Man open left side. It's Williams. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To throw is Wilson. That's swung out wide to Harris. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. Accelerating, and off he goes. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Flush to his right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
To throw is Fields. Rolling to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he finds Austin complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Fields. Rolling to his right. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now Wilson. Washington's got it. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. Now it's Wilson. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Fryermuth with an amazing diving catch. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Boswell for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with 40 seconds to go, that's, you'd think, time enough to try to mount a drive should they decide to do so. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. To throw, it's Williams. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's one. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Bears are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll get it right back to Washington. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Wilson will throw again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 51 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. First down, and they go with Swift again. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll go. Here's Williams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side. Broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And some room to work. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to get this to the 31. From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. On the give, it's Warren. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Fields. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Wilson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it, because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
64 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 35, here's 2nd down and 1. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
To about the 48-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. 2nd and 6 coming up. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to pull one over his head as this game progresses.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Here we go. This is 4th down. To throw, Williams. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. A handoff for Warren. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Here comes 2nd down. Wilson to throw. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as he's down to the 12. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They'll run it, Warren. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
On the run, it's Warren, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Steelers have won the game. Well, this is one of those games where if you win it, it feels extra special, but to lose a close one like this, Charles, remember where they didn't score